Hey guys, and welcome back to my Minecraft Origins series. This is gonna be my first time playing through all of Minecraft, seeing all that it has to offer, crafting, all the achievements, all that jazz. And I'm also doing it in hardcore, so we don't want to die. Last episode we did work on this house, and we're gonna sleep in it. Yeah, I did put that pressure plate just inside the door, cause then whenever I ran inside, then this, like, the door will close on its own. And I crafted some fences because today I want to expand our farming situation in terms of like sugarcane and wheat, but I also want to get some animals so that we could just get food all sorted out and get the farming up and running. I don't know that we'll do anything with the bees just because I don't have silk touch, or I think you need silk touch to get the bees. Although I guess you could just make a beehive box thingy. But yeah, no, maybe bees are just a little bit out of our reach right now. That being said though, there are some pigs and some chickens that I did see while we were cutting down trees, as well as some sheep over that hill, because we did spawn in the icy stuff over there. And then we came this way, and on our way we killed two sheep, three sheep, just to get the bed, because we needed that so that we don't have to brave the night before we're ready to. But yeah, I do want to grab some of those animals. I'm just trying to figure out like how much space do I need and how many pens will we need, because sheep, pigs, chickens, that's 3. Eventually we want to get cows, that'll be 4. Wow. Will we want horses? Yes, but we don't have a way to ride them as yet. So maybe not. Okay. Well, let me make another shovel. Alright, let's see. We don't have our stone. I'll just keep all this on me. Why not? Okay, let's go boom, 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 boom. I imagine we're gonna need to, because these don't last very long. Yeah, I'm just trying to take it real slow, guys. I'm not like a professional Minecrafter by any stretch of the imagination. This is my first time like really making, well, a let's play, let's say, but it's also my first time like really playing Minecraft. Like, I've watched a lot of Minecraft, watched a lot of people play Minecraft, but in terms of playing it myself, not so much. So I want to take my time and enjoy all of it, but also I want to be careful because for whatever reason I decided that it would be a good idea to play on hardcore. I guess I just wanted to kind of increase the stakes. Maybe that makes it more interesting for you to watch, but also for me to play. So yeah, here we are. So yeah, I don't want to like put myself in situations where I'm likely to die. So that's another reason why I'm taking it slow. No. But I am aware that I'm really limited by not having iron as yet. So I do want to go mining soon. I just want to make sure that we have, the farming stuff up and running. And when I go mining, I'm not like rushing to find diamonds. Like, really, what I want is copper. Because I know in this version of Minecraft, the most recent release, like there's a lot more that you could do with copper. Not that I've done anything with copper, but there's stuff we could do with copper, like copper armor, I know, copper tools, and then also with iron, there's a lot we could do with iron as well. I am actually interested in trying out some leather armor just for the sake of doing it. So I think if we could get enough cows on hand, then I would be interested in doing that. I just have not seen any cows as yet. So, and I don't explore too far away from home. So I'll go take a peek. I'll take a look. I have my wheat on me. I have my seeds on me. But I think it's really important that we build this little shed, just in case we do end up leading some animals home here, that we have somewhere to put them. Now, in terms of proximity to the house, I think it could be cool. There's this fence to like leave a walkway. Let's say 2-block walkway. So that's 1, 2, 1, 2. So, and start a little coop like right here, and we'll put something in this one. Yeah, is that? Yeah, that could be big enough for some chickens. Pop that on it. There's this. So go ahead. So some chickens could go in there, and then maybe we have some cows. Yeah, they will need a lot more room. Or maybe sheep first. I'm gonna need more fences. Maybe it'll be as wide as the house. Yeah, that looks like a good amount of space. Yeah, let's make some more fence. We do have some more wood, so should be good. What do I need? Let's just whoops. I need, yeah. I don't want to make all of these into sticks, I don't think, but maybe that's enough. And then oak fence. No. Why does it switch like that? I want to make a bunch of oak fence. Like, is that too much? No. And I will need another 2. Brother. I don't understand. Like, why is it so difficult? Sheep, pigs, cows. So 1 more. Bro. What do I not have? Wood. Okay. We'll just work with this for now, and then I'll chop some more trees. Actually, we have some saplings. Let me just pop down some trees. They'll probably grow by the time we need them. Yeah. So, last episode I talked about how I was from the Caribbean, and making games and making videos about playing games wasn't popular. Well, I said it isn't popular. That's not true. Now, I think now there's people have more awareness of it, and there's like more of a market. But like when I was growing up, that was very much not something that a lot of people were aware of or did. More so, a lot of people didn't do it, even though they might have been aware of it. And so I felt really weird, like, to be that guy who did it. And so I would watch a lot of gameplays, especially like Minecraft. Minecraft was always a fun game for me to watch, even though I didn't play. But yeah, I felt weird about like posting videos and sharing it with people. So I posted 1 video, but then I didn't share it with anybody, and because of that, then nobody saw it. Which is, that's how that works. Let's see. It kind of makes me feel like I want to put that fence gate. No. I'll put this. Yeah, more here. Yeah. But now I've kind of worked my way out of like being that affected by people's opinions of me, which I think that's like an interesting topic. I didn't want to come that far, I don't think. Yeah, like this whole idea of feeling judged by others, and how much of other people's opinions you are affected by. I think it's important, especially now. So with social media right now and people trying to optimize for the algorithm, a lot of what people do actually ends up being dictated by other people's opinions of them. Which I don't think is good by any stretch of the imagination. Just because, it kind of takes away from individuality. anything that's kind of dictated by an algorithm that's trying to optimize for a specific thing is gonna take away from. Oh, there's cows right here. Well, there's one. Yeah, it's gonna take away from individuality. But then also, we build our self-esteem and our self-image. It kind of gets wrapped up in what other people think of us, and that's just not good. What I would say, if I press F, yes, that goes in my other hand. And if I do this, I could like get some cow and some chickens. Look at me, I'm like Noah. And these sheep, I saw them, and we need to move kind of quick because it's getting dark. If you guys can't keep up, I'll abandon you. But yeah, they can't keep up. But this idea of, being so concerned with other people's opinions of you, I think there's a degree to which it's healthy to be aware of others, to be mindful of others, to be respectful of them. But you don't want to live your whole life trying to please other people. I'm just gonna go sleep. That's not good. And we know this. I feel like, people know this. But the way that, seeking to please others just kind of creeps in is sometimes so subtle that we don't notice how we're affected by others. And so, like, for me, when I posted that first video, like, I would have still considered myself somebody who, was pretty self-confident, didn't care too much about what other people thought of me in terms of, like, fashion. I'd wear what felt comfortable to me. But then here was this area of my life, this gaming thing that I wanted to do that I actually didn't feel comfortable doing because I thought I'd be judged for it by other people and that they wouldn't like it. Or I don't know. I didn't know what I thought. But yeah, so because of that, I didn't share it. And it's so interesting, like, why? If I try to think back to that time in my life, I don't know. I suppose it had a little bit to do with who I thought would judge me in that situation. Specifically there, I think, like, my family, honestly. So my sisters, they would watch me. Obviously, we're living in the same house. They would watch me watch these videos of other people playing games. And they would ask, like, why? Why are you watching people play games? Like, why wouldn't you just play the game yourself? And I didn't know how to explain that, I found it enjoyable to watch these people play a game that I wasn't playing myself. But in that moment, when I thought about sharing this video, I could remember thinking, then I would become this person that they've asked me about, these people who play games online. And I wouldn't be able to explain necessarily why I am doing it now, like why I'm doing it. I don't know. It's like, ooh, well. Look who just showed up. Unfortunately, I can't, how do I? If I do F, and then I do, yeah, it'll be. Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot trade with that guy. I just don't have any emeralds. But I could see what he has. Oh, buddy. Alright, anything? What's this? Lime dye. Peel moss block. See, I could get a bunch of ice. That's no worries. Bottles. Baked potato. I could give him some bottles of water to get some emeralds. But I don't want any of this. I don't think. Should I be one? Actually, if I got some slime, I could make leads, right? The thing that could drag animals around. I would just need some string. which I could get from killing spiders, which I don't know that I'm gonna do anytime soon. I also only have these many. How much is that? 3. Well, let's give it a go. See what happens. In any case, you know, I've never traded with a wandering trader. Is he called? Never done this before, so that'd be a first. All right, buddy. Do you want? Yes, you do. You only want 2. All right, then I'm. Oh, I can't afford it. Shucks. Well, thanks for your service. Although. All right. Now hear me out. The llamas. Right? The llamas. What if I were to get some llamas? Now, I know they get angry if I kill their owner, which understandable. But I saw something where if you put them in a boat, then when he walks away, the leads break, and when he despawns, they stick around. I think is how that works. Like I saw somebody do it. I saw who was it, Python? I saw somebody do it. So let's see. Does it work? How do I? Oh, there you go. The lead broke at least. So that was good. Oh no, he's in there too. Nice. What happened? What just happened? Anyway, I think eventually he will despawn. I don't know if because he's in the boat he will stick around, but now we potentially have some llamas unless they also despawn. I don't think they should. Alright, so I could lead animals now. There's a cow. It doesn't make sense if I don't have 2, but there's 1. There's a donkey. I can't sprint. I need food. Yeah. Okay, so I was talking about like identity and stuff. I'm getting like distracted by the game, which is that really a distraction since we're here to play the game? Ooh, boys. Pumpkins. We could grow these. I'll pick up a few. Alright, there's a donkey. What's that? Polar bear? Dangerous. Horses. There's horses. And that's good. There's 1 cow. I need more cows. Now, how do you find more cows? Yeah. So on what I was talking about before, you know, I would pose a question to you guys, you know, just to think about, I guess, a rhetorical question. I get hungry pretty quick. Is that like a hardcore thing or what? Anyway, like how does have you ever experienced something like that? I guess, you know, where you are aware of this possibility that other people might judge you, and so as a result you make decisions based on the fact that you think they might. Pigs. I don't have any way to lure the pigs, so I have to lead them. It's good that I have a lead. How many pigs? Just yeah. So like with me with that video, when I was much younger, bless me. Yeah, when I was much younger, I know that I was a little bit self-conscious. I don't have anywhere to put these pigs. You're gonna go in the cow pen for now. I was more self-conscious about like my clothes because my parents were never the kind of people that, you know, like wearing brands was like a thing to them, like a thing that I needed to do. So like going to school, because we had like a school uniform. So in Trinidad there's like a school uniform, so everybody wears the same clothes. But your shoes, They just tell you like what color it has to be, but you could buy any shoes you want as long as for us it was black. You know, for some people it's white. So as long as black shoes, it could be any black shoes. So you could wear Nikes, you know, you could wear J's, you could wear, back then they had creatives, people would wear that. Um, Air Forces, black Air Forces, people wear that. Some people would even get away with like a Converse, even though it had white in it. Some of the teachers would like be mad, but they do that. What else was popular back then? There was like Reebok had like those low cut black Reeboks. I don't know the name of it. Yeah, Nike had a couple options in terms of like different ones that you could wear. And so, you know, a lot of people would do that. However, my parents were more concerned with the cost effectiveness of it, just because honestly, you kind of rip through your school shoes. Like, you playing football in your school shoes, you running around the yard and doing all sorts of whatever. Like, you tear through those bad boys. And so, like, spending an exorbitant amount of money on cool looking school shoes just for your kids to rip through them in one semester and you have to buy another one by the next semester, just, you know, not the move. Come in here, boy. So yeah, so my parents just got like, we call them like butter bullets, or just regular shoes, like no name, no brand, knockoff shoes, right? So like at one point I had a Knight, Knight, which I guess was like a knockoff of Nike. At another point I had a K-Cell, which was like a knockoff of like K-Swiss, I believe. Other times I just had like church shoes, like you know them shoes that they look like you could wear them to go to church. Yeah, I had some of those. Nothing cool by any stretch of the imagination. I will say, like, one time in primary school I had Champions, but back then Champions wasn't cool, you know, and it was like with the Velcro because I was young. But like, yeah, nobody was making no noise about my Champions. But I did have Champions, and now like that's cool. Back then it was not. Just goes to show you how, you know, everything goes around, comes around. But yeah, so I remember like first, like when I would go to school, I would be kind of mad about it. Like every time it was time to do back to school shopping and we buying shoes and stuff, I would see the shoes that I want, but I knew those were not the shoes that I would get. And so sometimes people would make fun of me for my shoes, cause like in the Caribbean, like that's very Caribbean slash, you know, Spanish, Latin American culture. Like, it's almost endearing to make fun of each other. Now, not everybody that was doing it was trying to like be endearing, but yeah, that's something I dealt with and was not a fan of. And I guess by force, because my parents were not like changing their minds, by force I just learned to not care too much. Like, I learned to just look past it and just, yeah, whatever. These are the shoes I'm gonna wear, and it'll be okay. And like, honestly, like the more I did that, the less it seemed like people noticed that my shoes were not like fancy or anything. Like, the more confident I was in my own clothes and just did what I was doing, still play football, still go to school, still run around, it seemed like other people wasn't caring as much. Which, ooh, buddy, can I leave you there for now? I want to build another thing here. Which that is an interesting like thing to observe as well. Like, the more confident you are, is actually the more, I don't know, or the less people intimidate you. On one hand, like, you're less affected by anything they try, but on the other hand, it's like they're less likely to try. Maybe they could sense that you're more confident, and so they don't. I don't know if that's how it works, like psychologically or anything, but it kind of felt like that. Because the more confident I was, the less people made fun of me. And also, um, the more, I would talk to girls, and the more traction I would get. And did I not like fences? What? I thought I put it. I don't have a fence gate. Yeah, like that's a real thing that I noticed. So there was a time when I was shy, and in that time, it seemed like, the opposite gender or the opposite sex, whatever you want to refer to it as, girls, wouldn't talk to me as much. I guess I also wouldn't talk to them as much, but still. And then as I got more confident, like I would talk to them more, and they would talk to me more as well, And so there's an interesting relationship there where your confidence actually helps to overcome some of the things that you're afraid of and that kind of get in the way of you being confident. So that's interesting. But yeah, I think definitely. Is these ones on it? No. As I got more confidence, people actually made less fun of me, or maybe I even noticed it less. I don't know which it was exactly, but yeah. But that spread into other areas of my life too, where it wasn't just about clothes. Like across the board, I cared less like what people thought of me and what people had to say about me. And so I did what I wanted to do. Not necessarily like I was, breaking the rules and all that stuff, but like, if I wanted to play a game, or if I wanted to talk to somebody, if I wanted to wear a particular item of clothes, like I did it, And it didn't matter if people didn't think that was cool, or it didn't matter to me anymore. At one point, I was really self-conscious about like things that I couldn't change about myself, like my height, or skin complexion, or even like the shape of my head, like. And bro, that's tough. That's tough to be a person who, like, you are self-conscious about just things that are just a part of who you are, and that you can't necessarily change, unless like you have like expensive operation or something. Like, I feel like nobody should have to deal with that. Like, well, there's the one hand where you project it on yourself, and that's something you have to work through. But like, for another person, let's say, to make fun of you because of your height, bro, that's trippy. Or like, maybe you have, like a birthmark or a skin condition or something, like things that you can't change about yourself. Now, there's some things, like, I feel like I'll get some kickback for this, but like, wait, there are some people that they have medical conditions, and so that affects, their body. Great. But there's some people like where it's like a lifestyle choice, especially in certain parts of the world. I'm just gonna stop right there. I'm not gonna get myself in any trouble. But there's some things you can change about yourself, right? Like to some degree, like your style, like in terms of the clothes that you wear, like if your colors are like all over the place, like okay, you could color coordinate a little bit more. But like if you just can't afford, like this is the clothes you have because this is what you could afford, and then people giving you flack for that is like, that's tough. And then worse yet, like with if you have certain medical conditions, or like your skin or your height, like you can't do anything about that, really. I mean, like, God made you that way on purpose, and like it or not, like, you are made in the image of God, in the image and likeness of God himself. So it's like, who am I to look at you, the image and likeness of God, and tell you that you're made incorrectly? Like that's pretty bold. That's pretty prideful. But like, yeah. So it's not good to bully people like for things like that. But on the other hand, there's some of it that we project onto ourselves. So people shouldn't bully people, but they do. Now, how much of that you let affect you, and again, like, maybe this is a little bit controversial, but with all those people who bullied me and told me stuff about my clothes or my shoes or whatever, Like that doesn't have to affect me, you know? Like, I mean, yes, it's mean and okay, I might be sad, but like me taking that on and living with that and carrying that on my back, like, bruh, they're just going about the rest of their day. Like, why am I letting that affect me? I'm tempted to kill these sheep, but I'm looking for cows. Yeah, you don't have to let what people say affect you. Um, and maybe you don't think like, oh, I I can't, if people say stuff, it's gonna affect me. No, it doesn't have to. It really doesn't have to. And I learned that like by working through some of these things, um, just because the circumstances were not gonna change. So instead, my mindset about the circumstances changed, and so I was less affected by what people said, and I was happier. I was more confident in myself. Um, I was more willing to start conversations with other people, and as a result, I made more friends. Uh, I mean, while I'm talking, I'm like looking for a cow, and I just can't find another cow anywhere. I see so much sheep. I see horses. I see bees. I see fish. Where are the cows, my man? But yeah, so I don't know. Ooh, doggos. I'm a fan of that. There's a cow. Yeah, like you don't have to let that stuff affect you. Um, especially since your identity is grounded in Christ, right? Like, well, maybe it isn't, but it can be, right? So if we read the Bible, in there, God tells us so many things about ourselves, things that we might not know about ourselves, things that He uh, hardwired into us. Like, these are the ways He created us to be. And also promises about us in the future. Um, things about our design, like why He created us in certain ways and what He created us to do, like our purpose. And like that's where we should be getting our identity, ideally, not from these random people. Especially like I feel like now, some people are affected by random people on the internet that they've never met, who leave comments on their videos or their pictures or whatever, and it's like, yes, I get it. That stuff is mean, and especially like if there's like trauma in there that you're dealing with and getting through, like some of that stuff could bring back up some of those experiences for you, but they don't have to, you know and so I feel like if we are able to get truth from a higher source, then it doesn't matter what all the noise is saying. Yeah, like, because you're looking at the higher source, you're looking at the higher thing. So it doesn't matter if on this level you think I'm ugly, right? On level 1 you think I'm ugly, because on level 10, which is like the highest level, just for the sake of this example, God tells me that I am actually fearfully and wonderfully made, in His image, in His brother. What is he doing? I'm gonna take a nap. So like that's a higher truth, and so I'm gonna believe that, but I have to choose to believe that. And it is nice when people come along and they could speak truth to you, this higher truth as well, because now you're not just having to believe it for yourself, but you have other voices that are reiterating and reminding you of this. And that's a creeper. Oh boy. And that's good. That's helpful. But if you could build a relationship with God, then in the absence of other people to tell you this truth, you still know it's true, and you still, I see Him seeing me. I see Him see me seeing Him. Hopefully He doesn't do anything crazy. All right. Yeah, and then you get to believe what He says about you instead of what all these people say about you. All right, cool. That's enough of that. So we have all the animals that I was planning, and a creeper. Bro, you think I could, let me just, you guys think I could take on that creeper? I don't think so. But I could run away from him and he'll explode himself. I don't know that I could kill him. Where did he go? I just don't want him to be a future problem. Did he despawn? Is he lurking? Okay. I think that problem solved itself. Alright, cool. Yeah, let's gather this up. Yeah. I don't know if you could tell, but from that conversation, I am a pretty confident person. I wouldn't consider myself prideful. I try to be really humble. Actually, I'm the most humble person that I know. No, but yeah. But honestly, yeah. I try to be really humble, but also I'm very confident. So the things that I know that I'm good at, I'm confident that I'm good at them. And when I don't know something, I'm confident enough to ask or to say so, to learn. I think it does take a level of confidence to learn from others, because you have to admit that you don't know something, which, if you're not very confident in yourself, you would not want to admit that. Can't plant that there. Okay, cool. Good to know. But yeah, could plant it here though. Alrighty. It seems like this farm stuff is coming along. At least on the animals, which I should breed them up again. I should have wheat and such. I'm really excited about those cows, because like the leather armor I was talking about, it's more of a reality now. How far am I gonna go with this? Two more? Okay, I could do two more. Okay, bingo bongo. Alright, so guys, like I said, today we want to work on this farming stuff, which breeding them is part of that. We got some more chiquitas. This guy is still here. I guess he's not gonna be going anywhere. Now I know we have the sheep, but I actually think it's a higher priority for me to breed these cows. Well, I guess we only have 2 cows, so we have enough wheat to breed them all. Well, you don't have a spouse, so that's tough. Can't do anything with the pigs right now, but this farm here, I do want to expand it some more. So we're gonna plant as many seeds here as we can by hoeing out the rest of this. I'll probably remove some of that dirt just to create more room. How far will it go? 1, 2. I think it will go there as well. Alright, if I hoe all this, I will see what returns to dry dirt and what stays. But yeah, let me clear back some of this over here. Yeah, once we get this farm to a good size, maybe we could set some numerical targets. So like a stack of bread. If we could get full leather armor, that would be cool. That's more like a it's like a must, but it would be cool. Alright, what do I need? I need a hoe. Is this how you? Yeah, I just couldn't remember. I obviously I made one because I just broke one, but I just was questioning the recipe for a second there. Alright. I do like that we did not have to fight that creeper and that he just excused himself from the event. Yeah, this is good because while I plant this, those animals are growing up, and then I could go breed them, and then while I breed them, these could grow, and then I could come harvest this, and you know, it goes back and forth. I'm gonna expand it some more on this side. As I clear this out. Yeah, This is 1, 2, 3. I don't know if that one will be in the zone. I might have to move this tree. Guys, we doing it. Like, I'm playing Minecraft, yo. I thought I saw something, but it's fine. Okay. Now this is growing, right? This is growing. That's good. Are you guys ready for this action again, or what? No, we're not interested. How about you guys? You guys are? No. How about you guys? Nope. But I could. Oh. Oh gosh. It's chickens. You know what? You guys be free. It's whatever. There's not much else for me to do in terms of like what I had planned to do today. You know, we farmed. We got all the animals and we're just waiting. Let's just playing the waiting game now. Actually, what I could do is some of this. Yeah. So like, very like. You know, like make a little pot. Like people walk here, and as a result, the ground is like worn, kind of thing. And then I'll replace some of it with other blocks just to make it look better, like rather than just making it a straight pot. And then maybe one leads over here to the farm, and then over here to the house. That one should be very worn out because that's the entrance. Yeah, so you could kind of see like where people walk and where they go. Maybe some people like cut through this spot as well, because like, you know, why not? Oh, these guys, is there a way for them to move them? I think so. Because I want to, can I jump in? Yes, I can. Oh yeah. Yeah, brother, I just wanna, actually, maybe I put you in with the pigs. How do I get out? Left shift. Nice. But this one, I don't know how I will. Oh gosh. How will I break this? Oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanna, like. Yeah, see? He just disappeared. That thing is spitting at me now. I'm sorry. Okay, sleep time. Ooh-wee. Alright. Still looking good, no mobs. No. He's back. Brett. I don't get it. Okay, let's try an axe. I see people break boats, like with like with the villager in it and stuff, like to not hurt anybody. But I don't know how. Like there's like a hit box. There we go. And I have my boat back. And I'm gonna go. Nice. So now, bingo, right? Okay. Go, go, go. Okay, we did it, we did it. You guys can chill out. Let's just boom. And then am I able to lead them? Yes, I am. Pigs, please don't. Please don't. No. Come. Okay. Alright guys, move away. Oh, brother. Why must you make my life so hard? Okay, I just wanna let me get out my hand. Also I should have two of those. Okay. Why don't you guys come over there? Eh? Move away from the okay, good. Nice. Cooking. We cooking. What's up with you? Nice. That means the chickens. You guys. I don't know why you guys escaped. They're living the nice life. Okay. Well, this is gonna be a while. I'm now realizing like this is gonna take a hot minute for all these things to grow, for all this stuff to, you know. I guess in the meantime, we could go fishing. Not like with a fishing rod, like with, or maybe we could go mining. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? We could lead some horses into the cow, but no, because then when I'm ready to, relocate the cows, repurpose the cows, however you want to say it, then I might end up hitting the horses, and I don't want to do that. So we're not. Yeah, but I would love to hear what you guys think about like some of the points that I raised. Like I'm up for. I have no problem like if you disagree with me, like for sure. If you disagree. But it would be nice to know like why, like what you think instead. I think I should have an axe. That's what I think. I need to fix this. Honestly, I should do that right now. Tree's done. I'm just trying to think of what to do, and I don't know. I really just want to get my food situation and potentially some leather armor on before I like go mining again. Like I'm afraid to die, you know, like in Minecraft, not like in real life. In real life, like I guess that's a conversation for another time. It also might be nice to make like a smoker on a blast furnace. How do you make those? Oh, let's see. This is a smoker. So this one is a furnace and wood, and then is that the only one we could make? Oh, maybe so. It looks like it. Oh, what's this? Smoker, furnace. Oh, composter. This could be good to make as well. How do you make this? Just slabs? We have slabs. Not enough slabs. Okay. Alright, so let's start with this. Oh, this is nice. How about that? Okay. So we're gonna make a smoker like so. No. And then in here we do so. Boom. Smoker. And then we could put that here. And that's gonna cook food faster from what I understand. And then we're gonna make a composter, which we're gonna need some more of these. And then that should show up here. We can make barrels, which I probably am going to do, honestly. Can we make another one? We can, indeed. And maybe maybe one more. This one. Okay, so with the barrels, the idea is to put them in the pens so that we could keep some of the items that we need for those animals in, closer. Just doing my chores. Boom. You're just a lonely boy. The composter I would put maybe right here, because all these extra seeds then makes bone meal. Okay, I feel like this is probably not very fun to watch. Like, I'm just doing chores, like Minecraft chores, like nothing crazy. It has to be done. Like, we have to get ourselves set up. But I could see how, it could be not fun. I mean, that being said, I probably would watch somebody do this. But under the right circumstances, I could feel like, oh yeah, this is too boring. I can click away. Alright, you know what, guys? I think I'm actually going to end this episode right here. Just because at this point, it's just pretty repetitive, We mine the trees, we harvest the crops, we breed the animals, and then we do it all again. And I don't know that, that's super fun to watch. So, thank you guys for checking out this episodio. Yeah, and I will see you guys in the next one. Today, we were actually able to get good progress. We got the farm all set up, and we got some animals breeding. You could climb up here and take a look at it. Yeah, so can't see the chickens. Our little situation is coming together, and in the next video, I think we'll be all ready to go mining. So yeah, guys, this is, oh my gosh, I keep forgetting how weird I look. But yeah, this is Lyrics Messiah. Thank you guys for checking out the video, and see you in the next one.